Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Sauce. This is Friday night FBS games. I'm recording this before Thursday night stuff, though, so I don't know how we did last night, but Wednesday night was great. College football went 1-0-1 because Kent State blew the lead and ended up pushing. So college football was a profitable night. NBA, I went 4-1 against the spread. I gave out an underdog round robin that almost swept. It did pay out, but if Klay Thompson doesn't hit that buzzer beater, it pays out a lot more. But overall, great. Oh, I also live bet the Rangers money line during the World Series. Had a great night. Let's keep that positivity rolling. 2 FBS games Friday night. Let's do it.
Welcome to the Sauce. The Sauce. Sauce. Hey, get the sauce.
First up, some ACC action. We got Boston College on the road at Syracuse here. This line is now Cuse minus 2.5. It's down from 3. Total sitting at 51. Public definitely hit Boston College pretty hard at 3. They bet it right down to 2.5. Since it's hit 2.5, the action seems to be coming in on Syracuse. As of right now, it's looking pretty split even, with the sharp money slightly leaning towards Syracuse. So we got two teams that couldn't be on more opposite paths here. In the last 4 games, Boston College is a perfect 4-0. They're averaging over 28 points per game, over 438 yards of offense per game. Syracuse in their last 4, 0-4, just 8.5 points a game. Wow. And just 225 yards of offense per game. Now, obviously, Syracuse played Clemson, Florida State, North Carolina, and Boston College had games like UConn and Army. Obviously, strength of schedule is way off here, but still, no question that one of these offenses is trending upwards and the other one is trending downwards. The thing is, if you want to give Syracuse a pass for the Clemson game, that's fair. Clemson's defense is loaded with talent. I can see that. I'll even give you the Florida State game as well. That's also an elite defense. But North Carolina's defense isn't that great. That shouldn't shut you down like that. And then their last game against Virginia Tech. Now, props to Virginia Tech. They've been playing some good football, and their defense has definitely stepped up. But 137 total yards. 137 against Virginia Tech. Garrett Schrader was sacked 8 times in that game. Now, there is some good news for Syracuse. They're back at home, and they get to see this Boston College defense, which is just 94th overall according to Beta Rank, 70th in effective rush, 107th in effective pass. So it's really tough to make a call on whether or not you think Syracuse offense is going to show up here. Like I said, North Carolina and Virginia Tech both have beatable defenses, and Syracuse did nothing. Now, both those defenses are better than Boston College's, and both those games were on the road. This one's at home, so those are 2 positive points for Syracuse. What makes this one really tough is the injuries. Now, I don't talk about injuries in college football much because I'm not too familiar with the players. You only hear me mention it if it's like the quarterback, the star wide receiver, something like that. I usually don't go too in depth with it because I'm not familiar with the depth chart, but Syracuse is crushed. CB1, their top corner, 2 wide receivers, a tight end. Their left guard was just ruled out for the season. They may be without their right guard. He got hurt in the last game. I mean, Syracuse is just so wrecked with injuries, and most of them are on the offensive side. So I don't care how bad Boston College's defense has been. I don't know if I just don't think I can put my money on Syracuse right now, period. Now, if you like Syracuse, your angle is that Boston College is overvalued right now, and I completely will give that to you. They're on a 4-game winning streak, but like I said earlier, they had some easy games in there, and they struggled in them. I watched all 4 games, too, because I had bets in all 4 of those games. They had to come back from down 2 touchdowns to beat Virginia at home. They had to score a touchdown with 25 seconds left to beat Army. They struggled with UConn last week. That's why this won't be a big bet, but I will not put $1 of my money on Syracuse right now. So I wish I got it at 3, but I'd still take it at 2.5. It'll be a light bet. Give me Boston College plus 2.5. Update. So right after I recorded this, I actually found a 3. So I got in at Boston College plus 3. I think there are 3s out there if you look. So I saw a few of them. So give me Boston College plus 3 next game. Colorado State on the road in Wyoming. Let's talk some Mountain West. Wyoming laying a full touchdown in this one, total all the way down at 41.5, which I think is down from 43.5. It dropped a couple points. Colorado State looking like a heavy public dog early in this one. We'll have to see what happens with that. Line hasn't moved, which is not a great sign if you like Colorado State, but I'm recording this. It's about 32 hours before kickoff, so most of the public action comes in the day of the game. As of right now, we're still looking at 7s across the board. Well, obviously, everyone knows that Wyoming's a different kind of beast at home. It's not an easy place to go play. They're a perfect 5-0, unbeaten at home so far this year, and they've had some solid competition too. They beat Texas Tech, they beat Fresno, they beat Appalachian State. Wyoming's tough at home. And to make matters worse for Colorado State, Wyoming's defense is tough to throw the ball on. They're 71st overall defensively according to BetaRank, 88th in effective rush, 51st in effective pass. We saw Mikey Keene struggle to throw the ball there. We saw Tyler Shuck struggle to throw the ball for most of that game. This pass defense is pretty good. In case you don't follow Mountain West football, throwing the ball is all Colorado State does. They've dropped back to pass on 65.75% of their offensive snaps this season. That's second most in the FBS. Only Hawaii drops back to pass more often than Colorado State. The times Wyoming has looked bad this season were on the road against good rushing attacks. This is at home against a passing attack. I like this matchup for the Wyoming defense. But on the other side of the ball, the matchup edge goes to Colorado State easily. Because Wyoming's offense, as we know, is very reliant on the run. They're 99th overall according to BetaRank, but they're all the way up at 55th in effective rush. Colorado State's defense has weirdly been very good against the run. I don't know if anyone was expecting that. I wasn't. Colorado State's 41st in effective rush on the season. They've been tough to run the ball on. Yeah, they're vulnerable to the pass back at 1/10th, but run defense is solid. They just held Air Force to 261 rushing yards on 4.6 yards per carry last week, and I know you're thinking that's not a good defensive performance. Air Force on the season averages 290 rush yards per game on 5 yards per carry. So this is one of Air Force's worst rushing performances of the year against this Colorado State defense. The week before that, Colorado State went on the road to UNLV, another dangerous rushing attack. They held the Rebels to 138 yards on the ground on 46 carries, just 3 yards per carry. Do not sleep on this Colorado State run defense. It's good. I don't think Wyoming is going to be able to run the ball in this game, which means there's going to be a lot of pressure on Andrew Peasley to make plays with his arm. And I just don't know if he's shown us he can cover a full touchdown point spread with his passing game. I don't think he's shown us that, which is why I think I'm going to take the 7 here. I hate that it's such a public dog. Update, another line moved right after I finished recording. So this is at 7. I recorded, then I looked, it was at 6.5. Now it's down to 6. So, I mean, I would still lean Colorado State's way, but I think I'm just going to play the under in this one. Really don't like either of these games on this Friday night slate, to be honest. Seems like that's what the odds makers are begging us to take, but matchup-wise, this should be a close game. It's going to come down to quarterback versus quarterback, and I like the matchup for both defenses. So, yeah, I'll take the Rams. Give me Colorado State plus 7. It won't be a huge bet. I don't really like either of the games tonight, to be honest. If you want our top bets for all sports, parlays of the day, or you want to join our Discord, head over to KyleKirms.com. All the information's right there. College football, week 10. Let's have a nice little Friday night. I don't love the games, but let's get ready for the weekend. A lot of football on this weekend. Remember to bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you in the Discord.